Before we get started, please take a moment to click that thumbs up. It really helps. Thank you. In this video, we're going to talk about TDROP rewards for NFT liquidity mining. The white paper says that 6 billion TDROP have been allocated to pay out as rewards for NFT liquidity mining, meaning that when you purchase an NFT, you will receive some TDROP for doing so. Now, according to the white paper and the example that they gave, the amount of TDROP appears to be about 1 TDROP for every 10 T-fuel that are spent on an NFT. So their example showed an NFT being purchased for 60 T-fuel, and the person buying the NFT would receive 6 T-drop. So there's your 1 T-drop per 10 T-fuel. It does not appear that it's tied to the dollar amount. In other words, the price of the T-fuel does not seem to have any bearing on it. It's just the number of T-fuel spent. So, for example, if the T-fuel was at a quarter and someone bought an NFT for 60 T-fuel, and then somebody else buys an NFT for 60 T-fuel, and the price when they make their purchase is 50 cents per T-fuel, the amount of T-drop that is awarded remains the same. So the price of the T-fuel at the time of the purchase does not seem to have any bearing on it. It's the units of T-fuel that are spent on the NFT. Now, you only earn T-drop if you are purchasing the NFT with T-fuel. If you are purchasing it with dollars, there's no T-drop for doing that. So there is a benefit to using T-fuel to purchase the NFT. Now, they have put into place a mechanism that is designed to prevent what's called wash trading, which is where a person buys the NFT, then they sell it to themselves to generate some T-drop rewards, and they just keep buying and selling it back and forth. That's called wash trading. And the way the system is set up, as it was described to me, is the time that is between it selling has a bearing on the amount of T-drop that is awarded to the buyer. And the fee that is paid in the form of T-fuel increases the lower the elapsed time between the current sale and the previous sale of the NFT. They look at the block height that the purchase was completed in compared to the block height of the previous purchase of that NFT, and the lower the difference between the block heights, the higher the fee goes. And it's designed that the T-drop that's earned will decrease and the fee paid will increase to the point where they're not gaining anything. It's actually costing them more to be wash trading, and so that's designed to stop that activity so that people don't try and game the system, so to speak. And it sounds like it'll work. Now, from my understanding, there's a time component in there as far as if you buy the NFT, the longer you hold it. Let's say you bought it from somebody who had been wash trading. The amount of T-drop that would be paid to you would be lower, but the longer you hold it, the T-drop that will go to whoever buys it next regenerates. So it'll get back to the 1 T-drop to 10 T-fuel ratio with time. So the amount of T-drop that has been allocated is 6 billion over a 4-year period. There does not appear to be any vesting schedule with T-drop that you receive from NFT liquidity mining. So that means the moment that you receive that T-drop, you can sell it or you can trade it. When you look at the 6 billion over 4 years, it ends up being about 4.1 million T-drop per day that is going to be awarded. If you consider the number of TDROP for an NFT that is purchased for 60, if for the sake of easy math, let's assume that all NFTs were 60 T-Fuel. That means that each NFT that changes hands would result in a payout of 6 T-Drop. So if you divide 6 into 4.1 million T-Drop, that would be 694,000 NFTs that would have to change hands each day in order to consume the T-Drop that's been allocated for the NFT liquidity. Compare that to the current volume of NFTs trading hands, and they've got a long way to go to get that volume up to 694,000 a day. The T-Drop that was allocated for NFT liquidity mining rewards that goes unused will be held in reserve, and at some point the holders of T-Drop will no doubt vote on what to do with that unused T-Drop. I suspect that they will simply extend the period of time, but who knows? They may decide to divide it up amongst all of the holders of T-Drop on a basis of how much they hold. It's anybody's guess, but that's my speculation. And by the way, the NFT liquidity mining awards will work on any NFT platform you might use, as long as that platform is on the Theta network. For example, if you used Open Theta versus Theta Drop, you would still earn the T-Drop. Now, nobody is going to be buying NFTs as a means of accumulating T-Drop, because you don't get that much T-Drop from buying an NFT, and you'd have to buy one heck of a lot of NFTs to accumulate a significant amount of T-Drop. So really the T-Drop is just an added bonus. I personally am not even convinced that the T-Drop that you'll receive is going to significantly incentivize people buying NFTs. Right now, the ability for anyone to put out an NFT and get it listed, it's not an easy thing from what I'm seeing. I really think that if they want to get the volume up, they are going to have to make it so easy for someone to create an NFT and list it that a lot more people will do so. But that's just my opinion. I think that everything that I know so far about T-Drop, that the best way for you to accumulate T-Drop is through staking your Theta and staking your T-Drop when you can. And once it starts appearing on the market to where you can buy it, assuming that the price is pretty cheap, then you might want to consider accumulating a bunch that way. I know I certainly will. If T-Drop comes out and it's as I predicted, it's only a half a cent to a penny for a T-Drop, I will certainly look at dropping some money in and picking up some serious numbers of T-Drop, assuming that the benefits to doing so are good enough, and that remains to be seen. Personally, I think that they really wanted to use T-Drop to incentivize people buying NFTs. The ratio of T-Drop to T-Fuel spent should be more like 5 T-Drop to every 1 T-Fuel you spend. So if you buy a NFT worth 60 T-Fuel, you'd get 300 T-Drop. Now that would incentivize people, but getting just 6 when you spent 60 T-Fuel, that in my opinion ain't going to incentivize much of anybody. Just my opinion. Now keep in mind the example they gave where you basically earned 1 T-Drop for every 10 T-Fuel that you spend may be just an example, and it's entirely possible that the amount of T-Drop that you earn is much higher than their example. Personally, I hope so, because I really don't think 1 T-Drop for every 10 T-Fuel spent is going to really incentivize anybody, but that's just my opinion. Hell, even if the ratio of T-Drop to T-Fuel spent is 5 T-Drop to 1 T-Fuel, they are going to need to sell over 13,000 NFTs each day just to consume the amount of T-Drop that has been allocated for the NFT liquidity mining. Well, that's a wrap for this presentation, so cue the music. Keep in mind, the information presented in this video is my interpretation of the information pulled from the TDROP white paper. If you enjoyed the video, then hit that thumbs up for me, and I'll see you in the next video.